for fun, not to meet a certain goal. So, with that being said, this is all the books I read in 2024. So, starting with my most recent reads, it's just easier because that's what I remember the most. So, the last book that I read of 2024 is, Always Have Summer by Jenny Han, which is the last book to the Summer Turn Pretty series. I actually listened to this on Audible just because I wanted to finally finish it and I couldn't get through them. I don't know, I don't feel like the writing is for me. It's very kiddish, but of course I love the show, so I wanted to finish it, and it's good to see different POVs. This book definitely had more of Conrad's POV than just Jeremiah and just Belly, and also I love that the actors from the show narrate the audiobook. That just makes it 10 times better. Lola is so good at narrating, so it was more enjoyable listening to it, to be honest, than reading it. But I definitely prefer the show over the book, and I do think the third book was my favorite out of the series, and I was happy with the ending. So I'm super excited to not finish the series because I don't want it to end, but I'm super excited to watch season 3 and cry. So then before that, I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore because I wanted a cute little fall book to read. This is actually part of a series. I think this is the first one, but you can read them as standalones. So this is very much Gilmore Girls inspired. I think even her last name is Gilmore. That's just crazy. But the main love interest is named Logan. So I'm guessing she's Team Logan. But it's about Ginny. Her aunt lives in this town, Dream Harbor. First of all, the name is kind of a little cheesy, but she goes there to take over her aunt's cafe, and then weird stuff is happening in the town. But I like it. I do think it's very, very insta-lovey, which I know a lot of people are not a fan of insta-love. I'm not a fan of it either, but I think it was still enjoyable. It wasn't my favorite book that I ever read, but I think it was still an easy read. And I would like to read the other books. I feel like they would be interesting to read, because I looked at who the other books are about, and most of the characters are in this book, so I would be interested in probably reading the other books. I think I give this a 3 out of 5. And then of course I did the second Summer Done Pretty book, which is It's Not Summer Without You, so I also listened to this on Audible. I don't know what to give this, a 2 or a 3. I honestly don't remember too much about it. Taylor is much more likable in the show, so that's for sure. And I also like how the shows have Steven in them because he's not in the book basically at all. So yeah, just take a little water break. Okay, and then I was kind of in a slump, so I was just doing easy books to read, and Heartstopper, you can actually read it in one sitting, because it's more like a comic than a book. So yeah, this is the 4th one that I read. The covers are so cute, love Nick and Charlie, of course. I don't really remember what this one was about, but super, super easy read. I think this one's more about the most recent season of Heartstopper, so it's Charlie going through his eating disorder. So yeah, love Nick and Charlie. The actors are literally perfect that they cast for them. Okay, moving on. Then I read The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So I loved The Dead Romantic, so I wanted to read another book by her, and I feel like the plot was super intriguing to me. So it's about Clementine, who moves into friend's apartment, and when she goes in, the apartment takes her 7 years back in the not in the present, takes her 7 years back in time, and she's in the present, so it's only the apartment. Like, if she leaves the apartment, she's not in the past, she's still in the future. And this guy pops up who's from 7 years in the past. So yeah, it's their little love story, and then you kind of hear a little bit about her aunt's love story too. But it was super cute. It was a little confusing at times just to keep up with like the timeline. I love when a book has like the little magic touch to it. So it's not like, it's not fantasy or anything, it's still romance, but it just has like that little magic touch to this, and I actually really liked this book. Okay, moving on. So then during the summertime, I read This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and surprisingly, I actually really liked this. Basically, it's about Lucy. She goes to Prince Edward Island because I think that's where her best friend's family is like from, and they stay there. So I believe it takes you throughout the different times she goes there for vacation, and she has this little romance. I'm not gonna spoil it because you guys will read it and see who it's with, but yeah, she's just trying to navigate that because it's kind of like she shouldn't have a romance with this guy. Yeah, it's low-key giving. When I read it, I felt like it was kind of giving Friends with Benefits, but they weren't really friends. But I liked it. I remember crying reading it because I felt like it was the best love confession I ever read in that moment, and I actually really liked it. I think, did I annotate it? Let me see. I didn't annotate it. Oh, maybe I did. Okay. See, I have like, I'm not like the biggest annotator. I don't do tabs or like highlight. I prefer more just to do like the black basic underlining. So yeah, I just did like small little things. Oh wait, I did put a tab in one page. I must have really liked it then, because I don't really do tabs. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of annotating over one page. Let me see if there's any cute quotes I can read. Okay, this one's really cute. Okay, there have been times when staying away from you has felt as impossible as not breathing. I think I made for you, Lucy. Since the day we met, I think a piece of my heart has belonged to you. Every year, it just got bigger and bigger. Oh, so cute. More. That's so cute. Okay, I have another page I did a tabs on. Felix, I brought you here to tell you that you're in every one of my dreams. I came here to ask whether I'm any of yours too. All of my dreams, Lucy, every single one. I think it's Prince Edward Island, so they mention Anne of Green Gables a lot too. But yeah, I really liked this book, surprisingly. Okay, and then next book I read is actually my first fantasy I read. Because my sister and I we're gonna pick each other's TBR for the month. Spoiler alert, I actually failed, and this was the only book that she picked out that I ended up reading. I can't really make a TBR because I'm so much of a mood reader, and I feel like lately what I want to do this year is like, if there's a book that I can't finish reading but I still want to read it, I'm just gonna listen to it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. But she wanted me to read Caraval, which is the first book in the series. She loves this series, and I think she mostly wanted me to read the series so that I could get to Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I think that's what it's called. sisters and her love interest, and they basically play these games. And there's this guy named what is his name? What's the guy's name? Caraval? It is Legend. I'm like, okay, so, and there's a guy named Legend who, like, runs the shows, and they're trying to figure out, well, they're not trying to figure out who he is, kind of, I don't remember, but the whole time, I was trying to figure out who he was the whole time, and there's kind of, like, a little plot twist, too. I liked it, and it kind of took me a little bit of time to read, just because I'm not used to reading fantasy, but I do like it. I feel like this world is pretty easy to understand, too. And I do want to finish the series because I want to know who Legend is. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the ending kind of disappointed me. But yeah, nothing I could do about that. I know the third book is about both the sisters. But hopefully maybe this year, I'll probably finish the series. Also, sorry if my voice sounds funny. I'm sick, so. Okay, and then I read Book Lovers. This one, I think I read this while I was in a slump too, so I didn't really like it that much. I don't really remember what it's about, to be honest. I think it's about two sisters also, which I read those books back to back, so that's probably why I wasn't crazy about it, because another book about two sisters, I think it's about the sister is like very much type A, and she never like takes vacation. She's always super focused on work. So they do a sister trip, and then she ends up meeting this guy who's a book editor, I think. I don't really remember. I was in a slump reading this, so I didn't really like it that much, which was kind of disappointing. I probably need to just give it a reread and give it another chance. Yeah, I don't really remember too much, so I can't really explain it, but yeah. Sorry, Emily Henry. I just need to reread it. And then I think this one I read during February. It's the Do-Over. This is the special edition that my sister has. Let's by Lynn Painter. It's basically Groundhog's Day, so she's living the same day over and over again, but it's Valentine's Day, so crazy things are happening. She's doing, the day a little differently each time, and it's just about that, and of course she has a love interest, but I really liked this book. It's definitely in the same genre as Better Than the Movies, with like the love interest and like, I think it wasn't enemies to lovers, but that type of banter where they like to pick on each other and annoy each other. I think I loved this book. Probably gave it 4 or 5 stars. Probably 4 stars. I don't remember. I read this in February, which that's almost a year ago next month, so bear with me if I don't remember every detail. But yeah, it was a good read, a fast read, an easy read. Lynn Painter, I love her because she's such an easy read. Okay, next, Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. So I did read The Love Hypothesis, and that I was actually surprised about because I did like that, but I did not like this book at all. I don't really like the main character that much, and I did not like the love interest. It was kind of giving a stalker. I don't know, I just felt like he had a weird obsession with her, and I don't know. I don't remember too much, but I didn't really like this. I liked The Love Hypothesis way, way, way better. I don't know, I didn't like it, sorry. Okay, and then after that, I was in a slump again, so I read more Lynn Painter. This is Betting on You. Again, kind of in the same genre as The Do-Over and Better Than the Movies. This is about Charlie, who is actually Wes's cousin from Better Than the Movies, and Bailey. It's kind of similar trope as Better Than the Movies, where it's like that banter again, but she meets him on a plane and then meets him again years later. I loved this book. I was literally reading it in class. That's how much I liked it. It was a super easy read. So yeah, I think I gave this 5 stars. The next book is Call It What You Want by Alyssa Dorogatis. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that, but I actually found about this book on TikTok. It's a situationship. I think it's based on her situationship, so it's not a romance. This book will definitely help you stand up business, and it also has some really good quotes. Actually, I think I annotated this too. You can't keep choosing someone who doesn't choose you. Period. Your person is out there, and they're going to be your person for the rest of your life. You won't have to worry about this one foot in, one foot out situation with them. They're going to choose you, and they're going to stay forever. Period. So yeah, I liked it. I think she's working on a second book too, so I would definitely read it. Okay. Oh, next one is Sworn This Life by Renee Carlino. I actually read her other book. I don't remember what it's called. Something, maybe, no, Before We Were Strangers. I think that was the name of it. And I liked that one, but I think I liked this one much better. I gave it 5 stars. It was actually so sad, which I wasn't expecting at all. I cried. But the plot is super interesting, and the reason I picked up this book, it's basically about this girl who starts reading this book, and when she reads it, she realizes that it's about her and her first love, her childhood love. So yeah, as you can imagine, she's like, what the hell? And as she's reading it, she's kind of realizing that some of the details are different. So now she's pissed. She's like, why is he changing things and making me look like the bad guy? So yeah, but it's not what you think. It's actually super sad. And I cried reading it. And I think some of the chapters are actually the book that she's reading. So you kind of see like 2 stories in one. This was automatic 5 stars. I think I finished reading it in one night. And the last book, the first book I read in 2024, is another Heartstopper book. This is the 3rd one. Again, I read this in one sitting. No thoughts, just love Nick and Charlie. I don't even know what this one's about. I think this one's about Nick coming out. But yeah, love that. Definitely recommend the book and the show if you want a cute little romance. But that's all the books I read this year. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely gonna keep reading. I didn't set up a reading goal for this year yet. I don't know if I'm going to, but I just want to enjoy reading without worried about like getting to my goal for now. So I'm not gonna set up a goal yet. Maybe I will eventually in like a month or 2. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Tell me if you read any of these books and what was your favorite